What's good, everybody? It's good to be back. It's your boy, Mr. 813, Ahmad Kiwi, producer of the beloved Halftime with the Playmakers. I got my crew in the studio with me. This is your weekly update on everything sports, from the NFL to the NBA to college football to even college basketball. Guys, I am so excited to be back. How y'all feeling?
Alive and well.
Alive and well. Very, very blessed and highly favored this morning.
Hey man, it feel good to be back on this show with you guys.
Man, I'm glad to be here with y'all boys. Gonna talk some stuff that happened over the weekend, college football, NFL football. Even gonna touch on some NBA topics, so I'm excited to drop some knowledge on y'all boys.
Oh no, it was a giant weekend, man. You know, our Eagles are 5-0, best team in the NFL as per usual. But you know, just good to be on air.
Yeah, man, I'm holding in. I'm just glad to be back on air, but you know, my team is doing me dirty. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, them boys are doo-doo. But guys, we have a lengthy show to get into. There's a lot that's happened within the sports world. So I kind of want to start out with some breaking news. So the Panthers have fired their head coach. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were drawing for his job after last season. After the season that happened with, Sam Darnold, when he was coming in and not really playing that well with Matt Rule. And then after the 1-4 start this season, they automatically, just decided to just let him go, let him walk. And I think it was a good decision. The Panthers are not looking good. Baker Mayfield not looking good. Sadly, the one win they have is on the Saints, which is not a good stat. But, I think it was time for him to go. Time for the organization and the head coach to part ways.
D'Anthony, what you think?
Just based off like how they've been playing this season, I definitely understand. It's crazy how the Panthers franchise has gone downhill in the recent years. It just seems like they can't, pick up where they once were when they made the Super Bowl. Hopefully, they can find a coach that can bring them back.
Tristian, what you think?
Are we actually surprised?
No, I'm not. Really. No, I'm not. But I'll tell you why I am surprised, but it's not about them firing the coach. But we'll get into that later.
I would say the only reason why I'm surprised is because it's only his second year.
Right.
But for the most part, I mean, it's the NFL. If you don't bring results, then you got to go.
No, that's
for the most part.
Go ahead, Brian.
They just haven't looked good. Starting the season off 1-4, as Malik said, Baker Mayfield is not looking good at all. Another new team, another coach fire under Baker Mayfield being a quarterback. Is there a pattern here? I don't know.
So, guys, what I will say is they have been playing awfully, and I definitely feel like a move definitely needs to be made. But I don't know if firing him so early on in the season was a smart move, because now the Panthers are in a situation where you're going to have a new head coach coming into a new system that he probably doesn't know. Then you have the players having to get used to the head coach, build that chemistry, and the quarterback himself
they're using Steve Wilks as their coach.
Steve Wilks?
He's a secondary coach, former head coach for the Cardinals. So they're not bringing somebody in at least new right now. Mm-hmm. They're bringing somebody that's under the organization. What they're going to do going forward, I guess that just depends on how well Steve Wilks performs.
I think, I just think like the move was a little bit premature. Was it the right move? I mean, if you were going to make a move at this point in the season, sure. But I just feel like it was a little bit mature. But Malik, what you think?
Yeah, I was just going to say, to Brian's point, we've seen the Raiders come out last year, when John Gruden got fired, and actually make some noise with their interim head coach who came to, lead the team for the rest of the season. They made it to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So, like, there is definitely, some upside in this. It's not all bad. It's not all, drowny days, but It's obviously not a good sight to see your head coach walk. This man was robbing the Panthers. He received $62 million in 2020 alone, bro. In 2020 alone, he received $62 million. Yeah. Wow. I mean, he had a 7-year contract. Crazy. $62 million in 1 year, bro. Man. Robbing them.
Yeah, so, I definitely think like they're definitely the worst team in the NFC South right now, especially when you had the Falcons and the Bucks playing. They only have one win on the season. And it's not looking good for the Panthers. I mean, I'm very shocked from Baker Mayfield, from his standpoint of how he's just been playing. And I was not expecting this at all.
He was talking very spicy during the offseason as if he was about to come in and do anything.
Yeah.
And then he went back to doing the exact same thing he was doing in the Browns.
Yeah. And so, the whole situation is just a mess within itself. I mean, we just got to hope and pray that the Panthers can get it together. Well, not too much because, they are in our division. But moving on, we're going to go straight to the NFL. So So Cooper Rush and the Dallas Cowboys won yesterday.
Oh my
Cooper
God.
Rush is 5-0 as a starter. And what are your guys' thoughts? Like, should he be the starter over Dak Prescott, or should Dak just come back in and take over where he left off? Now, mind you guys, 5-0 as a starter.
Now we touched upon this a little bit when we were live, with the Playmakers, 12:30 to 2 o'clock on Saturdays. We touched about it a little bit. You definitely should not be going with Cooper Rush as your starter just because you invested so much money into Dak Prescott. And the fastest way to get turmoil in your locker room is to promote the backup quarterback to the starting position.
Yeah, I mean, my personal take on it, if you winning, you winning. He's definitely came in as coming from the backup position role, He definitely came in and he just been doing what he needs to be doing, as he should, as a player on the team. I think he's definitely earned the respect of a lot of his teammates, especially Michael Parsons. I know Michael Parsons was talking very highly of him in post-game and things like that. So, I mean,
he's done exactly what he's needed to do for this organization, for this team.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he still is a backup. And as an Eagle fan, we could definitely tell you about promoting your backup quarterback to your starting position.
Right.
What immediately happens to your locker room, and we saw what happened when Doug Peterson's out of there now, Carson Wentz's out of there, and Nick Foles is out of there as well. So it definitely creates some turmoil just promoting your backup quarterback to the starting position, especially when you've already put in so much money into Dak Prescott.
I understand that, but what I also want to touch on before I let Tristian go, they're playing great without Dak Prescott. Like, do you understand? Like, CeeDee Lamb before, when Dak was playing, like, he wasn't getting targets like that. He was dropping balls. He was not really getting as open as he could have been getting open, but the boy is balling. He's definitely emerging as a number one wide receiver, and I think you can see the entire flow of the offense. Their running game is established and well. Like, Pollard and Zeke, that's a good 1-2 combo. And as much as I don't like the Cowboys, they're playing great right now. But go ahead, Tristian.
Let me start by saying I have nothing positive to say about the Cowgirls.
Who's your team?
I'm an Eagles fan, undefeated.
Yes, sir.
That says enough in itself.
Yes,
Ain't that
sir.
right, Brian? Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Hey, back to the topic, man.
I do like how they're making the game easier for Cooper Rush. They're not complicating anything. It's just simple, quick passes, get it out to your playmakers, let them work. I like that. That's how you let your backup quarterback be successful. You never put him in a bad position. Pretty much, they don't put him in positions where he has to win the game with his arm.
Yeah,
they run the ball, play action pass, and they get it that way. In most cases, you would say competition. But yesterday they did beat the defending Super Bowl champions. So that says enough in itself. But at the same time,
who have also been struggling this season.
They have. That's what I'm saying. They have been struggling, but at the same time, you can't take that from them. But that's pretty much the same team they brought back from last year minus Odell.
I definitely see what y'all are saying. I just feel like I'm on the side of Brian, like, how much they invested in Dak Prescott and, the type of leader he is for this team. I just feel like, definitely he should come back as a starter, but I would definitely keep an eye on him because you know how he can be. He can be pretty inconsistent. So as we see, like, Cooper Rush is doing pretty well. So, if things don't go right with Dak, that's someone that can put in, but definitely feel like you should just keep an eye.
Well, I think for the Cowboys, like, the most important thing for them is getting their run game established. Whether Dak is playing or Cooper Rush is playing, like, that run game needs to be, like, staple of their offense, You talk about CeeDee Lamb looking a lot better, and I think that's only, like, the reason because Cooper Rush is a pocket passer. So he gonna stay in the pocket, he gonna get you the ball. Dak Prescott, he gonna roll out, maybe might make a few inaccurate throws.
He might run a little.
Or some of the passes that CeeDee Lamb would have gotten, Dak would have taken and run with them. So I think, like I said, either way, whoever starts at quarterback, I don't really care, but they just need to establish that run game. It's definitely been established ever since Dak has gone out, so that's a good thing for the Cowboys, and it's just about, like, keeping your foot on the pedal.
I will give Dak some leeway, though. He did only play one game in the season. He got hurt after the first game, so I will give him some leeway there. That in terms of Cooper Rush looking good with CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott just didn't have time to build that this season at least. So I'll give him a little excuse there. He can have that one there. But as far as the Cowboys, we are looking to their turmoil, and I hope they do start Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
And the locker room falls apart. Easy win for the division for us.
I don't like that excuse, Brian. Like, that's not an excuse, bro.
And yeah,
you played with him last year.
Exactly.
You had all of camp.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an excuse. Go ahead.
Yeah, Yeah, I completely agree with Malik because honestly, like he's been playing with Dak for like a season and a half, maybe 2 seasons now, and you know he's not putting up. He hasn't started putting up numbers like this till he started playing with Cooper Kupp. Like legitimately, people on ESPN and all those big networks, they're actually talking about how he's actually playing like a number 1 receiver now. You know what I'm saying? And that's with Cooper Rush. So maybe it's some underlying thing with him and Dak because I don't know. But remember, bro wasn't putting up numbers until Cooper Rush came into town.
But remember, last year he was also sharing touches with Coop.
Yeah.
And he also had Gallups too.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be a number 1 receiver when you actually have a legit proven number 1 receiver in Coop. And also this year, like I said, they're probably making the game plan much more easier, as in get the ball out your hand quick to your playmakers and let them work. Because if I'm a coach and you're my backup quarterback, you're not gonna put the team in harm's way. Get the ball to Zeke, get the ball to Pollard, and then when we throwing quick slant or whatever, do what you got to do. Get it to CD, let them work.
Okay, I can definitely agree with that. Fellas, the Giants play the
Packers.
Yeah,
they play the Packers in London.
The Giants played the Packers in London and begin their season 4-1. Fellas, are they a real contender in the NFC East?
I can answer this because I watched that game. I'm not gonna lie to y'all boys. Yes.
Them boys solid.
Saquon, it's Saquon, bro. It's really Saquon.
It's Saquon, but it's also like their coaching, bro. Brian DeBall, he is like a real deal coach, bro, and he does not hold anything back in his games. He's gonna make sure his team is there. They gonna punch you on the mouth, and are y'all gonna answer back type thing? Because I mean, like they came out swinging. Their defense is hitting. Their defense is tackling. Like not giving up big plays anymore. Like, well, they gave up like 1 big play or 2 big play in London this weekend, but like they're looking like a solid contender, a solid wild card team, or even like get a good spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, man. But no, it just definitely got me worried because you know, as a person with a team in the NFC East, I'm definitely concerned that we might be.
Y'all are y'all own demise.
Yeah, y'all are y'all
Commanders are their own demise.
I don't think nobody worried about the Commanders, bro.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, it's the same thing with the Giants. The great running game. The defense has always been pretty good. Like for the last couple of years, if you really watch the Giants, their defense has been pretty decent. It's the person they have at quarterback. That's the biggest enemy right there. If you don't give Daniel Jones too many opportunities to lose you the game, you're going to be in good shape. Because Daniel Jones will definitely give up a couple of games.
But he's been playing good, though. Through 5 games, he's been playing good.
Because they're not asking him to be the superhero anymore. They giving the ball to Saquon.
Yeah.
Saquon is healthy. That's who the offense is built around. Saquon. Get a ball to Saquon. The offensive line is looking just a little better. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
But they look better. Get a ball to Saquon, let him work.
But see, that all goes back to coaching, like I was saying. You know what I'm saying? It's about your coach putting their players in the right positions, you know what I'm saying, to be successful.
Yeah. Fellas, I'm quite shocked myself because if you would have told me the Giants would be 4-1,
right,
having a better record than my Tampa Bay Buccaneers,
and they have all the injury list is stacked up against the Giants. For sure. We're talking about Sterling Shepard, Wanda Robinson, Kadarius Toney. Like our offense, like a lot of their weapons are just not playing right now.
Right.
So it's kind of and it's impressive that they're 4-1 right now.
Exactly. That makes me feel like they're actually a true contender in their division. Now with the whole NFC. All right, that's a little bit of a stretch. I gotta watch maybe 2-3 more games.
I mean, the NFC East is currently the best division in football right now.
Oh,
if we go on record wise,
stop the cap.
Oh, bro.
Anyways, honestly, bro, like they just beat a really hot NFC contender.
They did, and that's what's scary.
And one of the best players in football right now.
Let's talk about it. They beat the two-time MVP Aaron Rodgers.
Really hot is a stretch because the Packers have been struggling recently.
Yeah. Did you,
bro? They came in the game 3-1. What you talking about?
Hold on. Let me ask you something. Like, can I ask you something? Did you you be watching you know how they do the previews, all the sports commentators, they give their predictions of who's gonna win.
Yeah.
Every single person voted for the Packers. Every single person, and the Giants won. That speaks volumes, in my opinion. But I understand what you're saying, Brian, with the current state of the Packers, not really having a true number 1 wide receiver. I mean, Allen Lazard he's back. Good. He's playing. He's looking decent.
Even had some flashes from Randall Cobb this game.
Exactly, but it's still the Packers. It's Aaron Rodgers.
They run as far as Aaron Rodgers can carry him.
Yeah.
So far, the only tough team he's beat so far is the Packers. I mean the Buccaneers. when they score was 14-12.
Right.
So we've seen against tough defenses, we haven't seen Aaron Rodgers do so much so far this season. He's beaten the Bears, the Patriots, and he's lost to the Vikings.
Yeah.
So as far as like you guys would say about Eagles competition, the Packers really haven't played anyone else besides the Buccaneers that can really test Aaron Rodgers and to see how well they can, expand upon their offense without having a number one receiver.
Right.
And having to depend on Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. So as far as coming out hot, I'm still saying the Packers are still trying to figure it out. They're definitely not in midseason form yet. Aaron Rodgers is not in midseason form yet. So, but this is a good win for the Giants because, at the end of the day, it is still Aaron Rodgers who had his opportunity to win this game late in the fourth quarter.
But they didn't.
And the Giants defense just showed out.
Well, fellas, we'll talk more about the Giants and the Packers when we get to our previews. We're going to move on to the Broncos.
Oh, geez.
They fall to 2-3 after signing. This is just so ridiculous to me.
It's very ridiculous.
So they fall to 2-3 this past weekend. They just did not look good. You can definitely see the frustration from the receivers. You can see the frustration from their defense because their defense is pretty decent if y'all didn't know. And, it just seemed like Russ has I don't care attitude.
He's been tweaking.
Like, what's going on with that? Like, I want to know y'all thoughts on the game more importantly first, and then we can talk about how the Broncos should proceed.
Man, and they just lost their running back, Javonte Williams, so
they're done.
So they got to depend on Melvin Gordon, Mr. Fumbles himself.
They are done. But how y'all think? What you think about it, Brian?
The Broncos, like we said, the defense is looking stout. Like it's a good looking defense. They definitely have cable. They got the DBs to do it. They got Bradley Chubb out there as well. They can be able to apply pressure to the quarterback. So they have a really, really good defense. Offensive wise, I really don't understand where these struggles are coming from.
Yeah.
Like you have nothing but weapons on your offensive end. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got Cortland Sutton. Like you have these pieces here. It's just a matter of fact, like Russell Wilson isn't really looking like Russell Wilson right now.
Nope.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know if it's like the offensive coordinator.
Like
I don't know if it's like he's just not understanding the plays or anything, but he's missing wide open guys, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
Bro, I'll tell you what it is.
What is it?
He's being asked all game to do stuff that he's not used to doing.
No, I agree.
That he's not like, bro, it's like muscle memory. His muscles are not, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not getting what the coach is asking him to do. So when it is time for him to make those big throws, freezes up, bro.
I would like to object that because according to multiple sources, not my sources, but like ESPN, Fox Sports, him and Nathaniel Hackett, which I think is part of the problem, they have some type of camaraderie going on where, Russell has a big say-so in the plays they run and the things they do. So I'm not going to give Russell a pass. Russell has been terrible. So we're going to hold him accountable. You're getting paid $300 million and this is what you put out on the field. There is no excuse.
We're holding Russell Wilson accountable when Russell Wilson won't hold Russell Wilson accountable.
That's Russell Wilson's problem. We gonna hold him accountable.
We gonna hold him accountable though.
It's just ridiculous how much hype came behind this.
Yeah,
This whole thing. They were like, oh yeah, the Broncos finna turn around
Because it
with
looked
Russell
like
Wilson.
they were missing was a
Exactly.
quarterback.
It was just literally a quarterback.
They were
and
missing
it
a
seems
quarterback.
to not be the case.
You paid $240 million to get Russell Wilson. It's like, all right, we finally have.
I'm saying.
It looked like another Peyton Manning situation where like we have everything but the guy we need, and then they get him. They get the quarterback position, and then he's not playing like how he played in Seattle at all.
And I'm gonna be real, like it's crazy because he was this man is a future Hall of Famer.
Yes.
This man is a future Hall of Famer, still has a lot of years left in his tank to play in the league, and it just sucks to see him playing like this.
He's blowing it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really think about where he was when he was in Seattle to now, it's two different people. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it was like the money. I don't know what it is.
It was the Denver air. I don't know, because they're higher in altitude than everybody else. I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson. It might be the air, but he need to get it under control, because if I'm from Denver, I'm kind of stuck with. I have no choice but to stick with Russ. I'm not gonna bench him. I paid all this money for him.
I mean, he's stuck there for like another 6-7 years.
I can't trade him now. So Russ really just has. Once Russ plays better, I believe the Broncos can get it back on track. But he, as they say, Bronco, let's ride, Bronco country, let's ride. Russell Wilson needs to be riding harder than absolutely anybody else on the field right now, because he's just not looking good whatsoever this season.
Yeah, guys, it's not looking good. But we're gonna touch up on them later when we get to our predictions for the week. now for the last segment of the NFL, we're gonna talk about these dirty birds, man. We're gonna talk about the Eagles.
Shall I hit the song?
As much as I hate to say it, the Eagles are actually the best team in the NFL right now as they move to 5-0 on the season. They do play the Cowboys next week. That is going to be a tough game. That's going to be a tough game. I love the Cowboys in that one.
That'll be a test for sure.
But fellas, I want to know y'all thoughts on the Eagles being 5-0, and for the Eagles fans in here, and y'all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about you and you. Keep it to a minimum. Go ahead.
Watch what we do to the Cowboys. Cooper who? Come on now.
Like I said, we're 5-0, man. Me and Ahmad have had this argument a couple of times. We're 5-0. It doesn't matter who we play. We don't make our schedule. Like, that's what I can't stress enough. We didn't make our schedule.
Easiest schedule in the NFL, by the way.
Third
Very
easiest, sir.
I'm sorry. What do y'all want us to do? Y'all want us to play the undefeated Patriots, the Bears back in the day,
85
the
Bears.
Cowboys? Like, what else do y'all want out of
I
us?
mean, play someone with legitimate competition.
Now they said that the Jaguars would be a test for us because the Jaguars have looked good this season. They just beat the Chargers 38-10. We beat the Chargers. We beat the Jaguars. They said, all right, we got the Cardinals coming up. Kyler Murray's out there. Kyler Murray, what he can do on offense. We beat the Cardinals. Now we're going on to the Cowboys. How many more tests do we need to show y'all before you believe that we're a
people are just wishing on our
Y'all can play us. Y'all can play us. But no,
this schedule is very easy.
I want all the smoke with Tom Brady right now.
Okay, we'll gladly do how we did y'all in the divisional round. I'm sorry, wild card. Y'all haven't been to a divisional in a while. But fellas, I wanna talk to Malik and Deanne. I know y'all not Eagles fans, but tell me how you feel about the Eagles' performance so far this season.
Go ahead, Deanne.
I just say I just like to congratulate Jalen Hurts, man. He's definitely playing very well. For a quarterback who's had a lot of some people doubt that he was going to do well, and see after his rookie year, he's definitely looking really good. Team is looking really good. I mean, this schedule is very easy. We'll see what it comes to towards the end of the year, because it could be another scenario like the Steelers, like what year? It might be 2 years ago where they were like 11-0 or something. We'll see how it looks towards the end of the year. But amen.
Yeah, I know on Saturday we were talking about how the Eagles could possibly go undefeated this season, and I honestly don't see that not happening. I can see them, just because you guys' conference is extremely easy. If you guys beat Dallas next week, y'all basically got the conference. Bro.
Look at the schedule.
It's just about y'all not fumbling it. At one point it's gonna be Eagles versus Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have beat the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all gonna have beat the Commanders. Y'all gonna have beat who else is there?
The Giants.
The Giants. It's y'all versus y'all.
We just said the Cowboys look good. Now it's the easiest one.
They were just talking about the Giants.
The Giants.
Hey, I ain't saying
he's looking real. He's looking like a real coach. That's what y'all told us.
Look, your league is famous. You know what I'm saying, for being top tier, the worst league.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, for real. And come on,
bro.
Tristan, we were talking about this last night. Like the NFC East is a laughing stock. It just so happens that this year,
one year not gonna change my mind, bro. 1 year, bro.
No, for real. It just so happens 1 year, 3 of the 4 teams are actually very good this year.
Yeah.
And
give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Hold on. Before you get into your next point, before we move on to the NBA, I just want to say this. I will give the Eagles some credit, okay? As a sports analyst, a aspiring sports analyst, my job is not to be biased, even though I really do not like the Eagles like that. But y'all are playing good. Jalen Hurts is playing with confidence. Jalen Hurts is truly coming into himself as an NFL quarterback, especially for the Eagles. Devontae Smith has been producing. A.J. Brown has been producing. You guys have a great running game. Your defense in front four, it's second to none. It's definitely top 5 in the league. So I will give you guys that credit. So I'll let you say your last point before we move on to the NBA.
I just wanted to say I didn't like the way that Malik was trashing the Eagles right then. How many losses do the Saints have?
As if he's not a Saints fan right now.
I think y'all are bigger than me. I think it's gonna be the Saints versus the Saints in a little bit.
You guys got the same record as the Falcons. Y'all are competing for who gonna get the better pick in the draft this year.
Please calm down.
All right, guys. So we're gonna flip the script a little bit. We're gonna go to the NBA, and we're gonna talk about the potential number 1 overall pick, Victor Wembanyama.
You did that correct. Good job. Good job.
Great. Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Ryan, I know this is your guy. You've been watching him very closely throughout his entire play this season. How are you feeling?
I've been watching Victor for a while now. Ever since they told me there was a 7'3" dude in France that could dribble and shoot. I was like, let me go ahead and look at the clips here. And he was playing against international competition. They've improved over the year, but everyone was like, let me see what he looks like versus competition in the States.
He was in Vegas, right?
And he goes to the G League. And he puts up 36 first game.
37.
Wait, so I have a question for you, Brian. So what is that team that he was playing on? Because I have never seen that team. They low key popped up out of nowhere.
That's an Australian team, if I'm not mistaken.
Australian team?
I want to say, don't quote me on that though.
Because I seen they has some former NBA players on there too.
I don't think it's Australian. He's French. Why would he be?
No. He switched leagues. He switched.
Switched. Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. And then that team came to play a G League Team Ignite when Wembanyama and number 2 draft pick projected Scoot Henderson went head to head, and that was a crazy matchup, bro. Just seeing Wembanyama, the way he could put the ball on the floor. I seen him pull up from a little bit behind half court or a little bit above half court.
He just bucket
cash, bro.
I want to say, first of all, shout out to Scoot.
He's like a 2K player, bro.
Scoot did his thing too.
Scoot can even let you make those players.
This is like the year where when Zion and Ja came. I'm sorry, yeah, this is like the year where Zion and Ja came out, where you knew who was gonna be number 1, but you also knew it was no knock to have the number 2 pick. You can't lose with getting Scoot either. But let's make no mistake about it. We know who's the clear cut number 1 pick.
Richard Jefferson even came out and said that if Victor Wembanyama came out in the same draft as LeBron James, that LeBron James is the number 2 pick in that draft.
I don't know about all that. No.
First of all, who cares what Richard Jefferson has to say?
That's crazy.
Hey, that man an NBA champion.
Let's hold on a second, because he's not all the way wrong in the situation here.
Bro, he's a troll.
History in the NBA has showed that whenever they have a talented big man, they normally lead towards a talented big man despite the smaller player. We saw it happen in the past. We saw Marvin Williams and Chris Paul. We see DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic. We see it happen all the time in the NBA. So it's not a far-fetched idea. It's just that LeBron James is just the greatest prospect literally to ever come out of high school. So that was it was not all the way wrong, but I understand where Richard Jefferson's coming from, but I don't agree.
Right.
But Victor Wembanyama is that dude for real.
Yeah, okay.
Make no mistake about it.
I mean, I definitely haven't been tuned in as much as I should have, but I've been hearing about him for sure. I know there's another guy, Scoot Henderson, right? Yeah, I haven't heard too much about him, but that Victor guy can ball. He can hoop.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. He can shoot the 3. He can shoot mid-range. He could get you inside the paint, and he's athletic, so he can handle the ball very well, which is very rare.
So he's literally the ultimate prospect.
Yeah.
Do y'all think he should shut it down now and just work on his body for the year?
And I'm glad you said that, because I know there was reports saying NBA teams wanted him to shut it down in case he got injured, but his whole attitude was why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? His agent did the right thing and telling him you should keep playing, because the more experience you get, the better you're gonna be. It's kind of like how the Magic shut down Paolo Banchero, and was I for that? Not really. Do I understand where they were coming from? Yeah, because when you have someone with such talent, and I'll be real, the Magic haven't had a talent like that since Dwight Howard as a draft pick, I'll say.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
So when you have a talent like that, I understand the need of a franchise to want to protect it at all costs, but that man is like in Paolo's case, that man is 19 years old. In Victor's case, he's only 18 years old. The man can hoop. You let him do what he got to do. He's not even 20 yet. Mind you know what I'm saying? So I think he did the right thing by still continuing to play. I just hope he stay healthy.
I'm gonna disagree with both of y'all on that one. I know y'all want the kid to play, and I'm all for it. But remember, it was a situation very similar to this a couple of years ago. LaMelo went to the Australian League. He played a few games, but he had been playing in where was he
Lithuania.
Before that? Lithuania. But there's no competition in Lithuania. So he went to the Australian League. He grew a few inches. Yeah. That also helped him. I think he came out for the draft 6'7". 6'7". He played 3 games, and off them 3 games alone, you knew LaMelo was the real deal. Shut it down. There was no question about it. Hey, shut it down.
Work on your body.
We know, and it's not even a work on your body thing, but as we just saw with Chet in the summer, anything can happen. Literally anything can happen with that body. With
similar
that
frames too.
Yeah, with that
I think that's a different situation though, because when I'm looking at Victor and Chet, first of all, Chet doesn't work out or lift weights. Victor does. So and
he got the inside scoop.
And let's be like for real, like let's break this down. Like when I look at the play that Chet got injured on, he was going against the GOAT, LeBron. So
in a play where LeBron wasn't going full speed,
right.
He was slowing down, trying to not hurt him.
But
right.
that's what I'm saying. Though. Anything can happen. Like anything can happen.
That's
So in a situation with someone like this, where you're going number one. It's very few drafts where we know
they're calling you the greatest prospect ever.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I just say he shut it down, and
yeah. I mean, Deanne, what you think?
I don't know too much about Victor. I definitely need to tune in more. I have heard a lot about him just from people talking and just social media. So I definitely know he's a very good prospect. Shutting it down, I just feel like, what y'all said, like give him more experience. I understand what you're saying, Tristian, about like, anything can happen with injuries, anything like that. But, he's young. Like what Ahmad said, he's young. He should, be able to play. No need to rush into a career where, he's going to do well anyway.
Good, man. So, I'm happy to see how this kid develops. We'll talk about what team we could potentially see him going to on our next episode. But, guys, we're going to move on. Let's talk about the Lakers and the Warriors in their preseason game. Now, I get it. It was only preseason, but I took a couple of things away from that game, and I'm going to tell y'all, and then I'm going to let y'all decide whether you agree with me or not. You feel me? So here are my takeaways. Anthony Davis, he is back. Jordan Poole, oh my goodness.
He is him.
That man is going to take over the Warriors one day. And in fact, that day might be sooner than we all thought. And honestly, when we talk about Anthony Davis, I mean, he played 21 minutes. He had 28 points. He looked fresh, hitting all his shots, had 2 or 3 3-pointers, if I'm not mistaken. And he just looked like in complete control. He kind of looked like their championship form when they won the championship like 2 years ago. But I was very pleased.
Bubble AD?
Yeah, Bubble AD. I still think that was like one of the best versions of AD to this day.
That was a good AD.
So, guys, the Warriors look good. The Lakers do look decent. LeBron didn't even play this preseason game. So, what are your guys' thoughts?
Oh, yeah, LeBron didn't play. He was turning up with Travis Scott.
Of course. His son's 18th birthday.
It was Bronny's birthday. It was Bronny's birthday.
We love to see the father and son.
You got to take the times in your career and then have love for your family. I believe, this is the Lakers' first preseason game they won in like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. Like they don't win preseason games very much the last few years.
Yeah.
So it's good. It was like you said, Anthony Davis looked like he returned to his old self. I never questioned Anthony Davis's talent ever. Like,
I never did either.
It was just a matter of staying healthy.
And honestly, it was that and just his work ethic. Like bruh said like months ago, I remember on Undisputed.
He hasn't picked up a basketball.
Yeah, since like it was like at the time it was like in the summerish, and it said he hadn't picked up a basketball since like April.
Yeah,
I just thought that was
he's
crazy.
Immensely talented. Like to me, if Anthony Davis is healthy, he's the best big man in the league, in my opinion.
Definitely.
If he's healthy.
The man can shoot. The man can post you up.
Can defend.
He can play defense.
Yeah.
And he stretches the floor. Especially when you run those lineups with LeBron and Schroeder at the point. But I never deny his talent. But what y'all think?
For me, I feel like this is gonna be a long season for the Lakers.
A long season? Why?
I don't believe in them this season. I really don't.
Why is that?
I don't, bro. I don't think getting Dennis Schroeder was a good idea, bro. Like I think that he's gonna definitely bring him down. You gotta think about this. Y'all gotta really lock in right now. You have Russell Westbrook, you have Patrick Beverly, and Dennis Schroeder on the same team. That's a lot of guards that make a lot of mistakes, bro. You got it.
Now I watched a few of these Lakers preseason games, and I'm here to tell you, I'm not gonna say Western Conference Finals just yet, but
playoffs for sure.
But they're making the playoffs for sure.
Playoffs for sure.
Okay. I got off track. If I want to talk about that preseason game, I think AD played a really good game. He went 8 from 8 from the free throw line, which kind of shows me that like he was really focused. You know what I'm saying? Locked in. He only got 3 rebounds, which I think he definitely needs to grab more rebounds. That's just me. He got out rebounded by Austin Reeves, but I feel like I'm being picky. Moving to the Warriors, Jordan Poole, he shot 9 3-pointers.
That man is
he shot 9 3-pointers.
That's a nice hooper right there.
But he made 3 of them, bro. So that boy last night was jacking.
So one thing I'll point out with what I've noticed from Jordan Poole is he's just more confident. When I was watching him in the finals, a lot of shots that he made last night, he was not making them in the finals or even throughout the playoffs.
Different type
season.
Of pressure.
It's just
comparing preseason to finals.
And I understand
different
that.
type of pressure there.
I understand that, but like it's just his style of play. Like I was honestly watching that, and I'm not a Warriors fan by any means necessary, but I am a fan of watching players grow and develop their game and become stronger and better. And I will say that he looks more confident, and it's a scary thing. Like all I kept saying when I was watching his highlights was, if he's doing this in the playoffs, they're scary. Like no one's stopping him. But go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a Warriors fan at all. I can't stand the Warriors. I'm gonna say that for another day. But Jordan Poole definitely looking good. Being that I wasn't a Warriors fan, I definitely didn't acknowledge how good he played during the playoffs. He definitely was looking good, and I can't acknowledge that he's looking very good now. Definitely agree with what you said about him taking over the Warriors in the future. Definitely,
yeah, for sure.
Definitely
taking over the Warriors in the future.
I mean, let's be real. Like
he looks good.
Steph is only getting older. Their main core is.
I love
older.
Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole can perform. He can play very well. His bag is very. If we talking about shifty players, one of the shiftiest players in the league. Him being, are we talking about him being like your number one option going forward?
Yeah, in the future.
I do not.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Let me tell you why.
Let's hear it.
So Steph Curry just must not be aging at all.
It's not even about that. Let me tell you why.
Let's hear it.
So the Warriors are geniuses when it comes to the draft. I don't know if we're forgetting that they have the former number 2 pick in James Wiseman, who's also just as good as Jordan Poole. For one,
he just needs to play more. He's always hurt
and stay healthy. They also have Jonathan Kuminga. He's also, in my opinion, at this age and compared to Draymond, Jonathan Kuminga is much better and a much better athlete.
Bro, how they let the Warriors get away with this, bro?
Crazy, right?
This is insane.
They have
now I'm really locking in. Like, this is insane.
They have Moses Moody, who hasn't been playing much, but he's getting the experience necessary because he's playing behind Steph and Clay.
These guys are subtle.
And they still have Wiggins, who's under 20. Jordan Poole is going to be a big piece in what they do in the future.
Andrew Wiggins is 27 years old, by the way.
27 years old.
None of those guys you listed were guards. I'm talking about
Moses Moody is a guard.
And you would take him over Jordan Poole, who's already had that experience in the playoffs, in the finals, and is playing lights out right now.
You said they're handing the keys over to Jordan Poole. I do not agree with that.
I'm not saying listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're gonna hand him over right now. I'm saying in the next coming years, for sure.
Yeah,
especially if he's already been there. Like you understand. Like there's certain organizations, like FAMU for example. FAMU is a very earn your stripes type of program. You need to earn your stripes. Like sometimes guys will be playing on the roster for 4 years and will never touch the field. But sometimes it's really about when your time comes. And I think the Warriors are an organization just like that.
So let me ask you a question. Curry is how old? 32? 32?
Yeah, 32.
Okay, because Curry is not like the biggest, strongest athlete and he's not a high contact player.
34, I bought 34. So
34.
even older.
That's crazy.
Even older.
Okay.
Crazy.
So I give Curry 3 more years, probably 2 more years playing like this, and I say 4 more years just playing in general. We all know he's going to retire a Warrior. He's not going anywhere else.
Oh yeah.
I hope not.
Is Jordan playing like he is now? How long do you think he's going to be comfortable with being a backup?
I mean, let's be clear. Honestly, and that's another issue that the Warriors have to address sooner or later because, again, earlier this summer, there were rumor talks of him not being re-signed to them. I know he was a restricted free agent or he had a player option in his contract or something like that. And there were even talks of him going to other teams. So that's an issue that the Warriors have to address when it gets there. But they better pay that, man.
The Warriors are always trying to get better in any way necessary. So I feel like if the right trade package presents itself and Jordan Poole has to be a part of that, I feel like they would have no
They'll
problem.
be crazy. They'll be crazy to trade him.
I feel like we can't have this conversation without mentioning what happened in practice last week.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You feel me? We can't just walk over that.
There's a big elephant in the room.
I feel like Jordan Poole he's elevating his game, and as he elevates his game, his confidence gets higher. I hate to, he a light-skinned dude, so that's automatically gonna get to his head, bro. So I feel like Jordan Poole's confidence is through the roof right now, and he's showing it. He's showing his teammates that with his wordplay, how he's talking to them, that apparently they're saying he needs to be humbled and all that. And I think it's soon the time for the Warriors dynasty will be up.
Yeah.
And it's about who will be walking, whether it's Clay, whether it's Steph, whether it's Jordan Poole, Draymond Green, who is it going to be? So I guess that's the answer at the end of the day.
Jordan Poole always played like a very confident player. We can just see that in just how he plays. Damian Lillard spoke very early about Jordan Poole back when he was on the bench that of how much he was talking to Damian Lillard while he was playing. So he's always been very confident. He's always been talking. But as far as talent-wise, he's improved every year he's been on the Warriors. But I feel as if him being your number one going further? Absolutely not. The reason why he's playing so well in this role where he is now is because that pressure is off him. I have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green next to me. I don't have to be a John Morant. I don't have to be a Trae Young. So the pressure is not much pressure on me. Like if we lose, I'm not getting the blame.
Right.
It's going to Steph Curry.
Right.
So there's a reason why Jordan Poole can look the way he looks now, and that's just because of the roster that he's on.
Right. I agree, guys. We'll see what happens to the Warriors. I definitely like them to be another finals contender again this season. Going to the Lakers, we're just going to see what happens. You never know with those guys, right? So we're going to veer right off. We're going to go back to college football, and we are Rattlers. We attend Florida A&M University. So we got to talk about the Rattlers. They extend their record to 3-2 on the season. They defeat South Carolina State 20-14, and I just want to know, what are your guys' thoughts? Short and concise thoughts.
How long are we going to continue to play around with people until we just lose again? Like, how long? These games should not be as close as what they are.
I agree.
If you look at the previous 3 games, we were losing to Alabama A&M at one point.
Yep.
That's unacceptable.
We were down by 14.
That's unacceptable. If you ask me, we probably should have lost the game on Saturday. Just looking at what I was looking at, I don't know if we all watch football the same way, but I think we should have and probably would have lost that game, but we didn't. We can't keep playing around with teams and expecting just to lose like this. I mean, a win like this, it's just not, nah.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. The only blowout we've had this year is against Mississippi Valley State, and like everybody expected that. You know what I'm saying?
They were 0-4 going into that game, by the way. Mississippi Valley State that is.
But like when it comes to comp teams, bro, like we struggle to start off strong against them, and then we struggle to I don't know, just make our mark against them, you know what I'm saying? Come in their house and blow them out. Like Tristian said, I don't think we should have won that game either. We got saved by the grace of God. And yeah, we just gotta come back next week, man. Be ready to start off strong. That's our problem, bro. We don't start off strong, and then we give the team hope.
See, I'll break it down. I'll try to keep my answer short and concise. But my thing with the Rattlers and our offense, like we need to come out the gate being very aggressive. We have too many weapons on offense. We have Xavier Smith, we have Shamar Shareed. Like, we have too many weapons on our offense, especially at the receiver position and the running back position, to not be punching teams in the mouth right out the gate, right? Our defense needs to be definitely more consistent. There's no way that SC State and let's be real, like their offense was struggling going into that game. They had the lowest proficiency offensive wise in the SWAC. So there's no reason why that game should even have been within a touchdown score. But I think it's just little things. It's just the little things with us. We let teams, we oftentimes give teams so much hope that we almost mess around and lose the game for us. You know what I'm saying? We can't have games like that, because when it comes to SWAC contention, SWAC title contention, they look at points and how many points you beat a team by. And teams like Jackson State, well, first of all, they blew us out by more than 40. So they're looking at things like that, and we just need to start being more aggressive on the offensive side of the ball. But
definitely,
go ahead, De'Aaron.
Definitely, we know FAMU is a second half team, which can really hurt a team when you're playing someone who comes out the gate swinging. So we definitely need to get it together. They're not looking awful, but like we were saying, the competition hasn't been that crazy for us to be in these close games, especially looking at who we have coming up in the future. Like, we have Southern and Alabama State, two teams who are definitely solid. So if they can't figure something out, I'd definitely be concerned.
Yeah, you mentioned those two teams. Those are two teams that can really keep us on our toes. You know what I'm saying? Southern will be coming to brag, so we'll have that, that atmosphere. But those are two teams that are tough, man. Real tough.
Exactly.
Team.
And so if we're playing inconsistent and a little bit sloppy as we are now, I would hate to. I don't know what would happen. I know we play Grambling State next week. That's gonna be a tough game going into their environment. I know we oftentimes try to focus on the negative aspects of how a team plays and what they could have did better, but we have to give the offense some credit as well. So while they haven't gotten straight out the gate, producing, they're playing well.
Xavier Smith is balling.
Xavier Smith is balling right now, so I'm going to give him credit, and I'm going to give Musa credit as well, because he's been playing amazing. I think he was voted SWAC Newcomer of the Week this past week. So, they're making great strides. It's just the little things that we have to tighten up on if we're going to actually have a legitimate chance to compete for a SWAC title.
I don't know.
Do we really think our game against Grambling is going to be a tough game?
I say tough just because of the environment they're going into.
Because they are 1-5 on the season.
Yeah, they're 1-5. Yeah, no one's saying that they're not going to win the game. No one's saying that we're not going to win the game, but we just need to make sure that we're playing with our P's and Q's, because anything can happen in football.
Yeah, and we need to make sure that's not Grambling's homecoming, because
exactly,
it's going to get real unchy if it's their homecoming.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like we need to open up the playbook a little bit more.
I've been saying that. Yeah.
I've been noticing, like, I'm watching the game. It's just like once we get in that red zone, it's the same fade route, same slant, same outs. It's just we definitely need to open this playbook up some more because people are definitely gonna start paying attention to that. And it can't be said that that's been going on so far, like with these close scores and going into these tough teams. Definitely need to expand on that.
And what I will say, last thing before we move on to the next topic, what I will say is they did open their playbook up a little bit, like last week. I know they had a fake punt. I saw that. One of the punter, Chris Perdue, I used to play football with him in high school. He had a fake punt for like 10 yards and they got a first down. And they ended up driving down the field to score a field goal. Yeah. So I'm seeing little sparks, little showings of it's possible to open up the playbook. They just got to do it more on a consistent basis. Yeah. But with that being said, fellas, they play Grambling State next Saturday. Let's hope they get the W. But moving on, we're gonna talk about the Noles, the other team in Tallahassee. So the Seminoles suffered their second loss in a row after losing to NC State.
Predicted second loss in a row, by the way.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear. It was a 2-point game. Let's be clear.
Predicted.
It was a 2-point game. But they take their second loss of the season in a row. Is it time to worry about the Noles, or is this just a hiccup in the road?
I mean, it's not. Y'all are doing exactly what I predicted. Y'all lost 2 games in a row. It's gonna be 3 this weekend when y'all play Clemson. I don't know why we shouldn't be nervous. I pretty much predicted this. I think
we're gonna beat Clemson.
Yeah, okay. Then y'all play Miami after, then Louisiana. I mean, y'all are in the season. Oh, y'all got another game against Syracuse. I think y'all gonna lose that one too.
That's not what?
Yeah. And I also predict Florida to beat y'all as well.
Oh yeah.
So, Florida? Oh, you're tripping.
So I predict y'all losing 4 games this season.
Florida, bro?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Y'all are in the swamp this year. If I'm not mistaken, y'all are.
No. I think it's home.
It's home.
It's home.
We're winning. We're one thing about the Noles. No matter how bad we're doing, we don't lose to the Gators at home. That's one thing for sure. I just like us in that game.
Hiccup. I don't know. I had like they did predict these 2 losses, but after seeing them come out swinging the first few games, I was like, okay, maybe Florida State can do something. I don't know. We're gonna have to see how these. I don't know how it's gonna look for this Clemson game. That might not be working y'all favor. But after this Georgia Tech game, I'm gonna have to see like what goes in with that.
That Clemson game definitely gives y'all a chance. Like
exactly,
gives y'all a chance. Because if they beat Clemson, then automatically going to be back in the rankings.
That's a big if.
If they beat Clemson,
but it's at home. It's at home.
So we have a legitimate chance. Like the over under. The over under is like, the win probability for us is like 41%. Like if I'm not mistaken. So like it's there. Like you got to think about it. It's a nighttime game. It's prime time on television, and it's at Florida State.
I mean,
and I'm gonna be real.
That joint not gonna be jumping.
Exactly. It's gonna be jumping. And I'm gonna be real.
In college football, like that plays a big part.
Exactly. And I'm gonna be real. And I'm telling you the exact type of the strategy against Clemson's defense for us at least. We have Johnny Wilson. We have big, stocky receivers. Their entire secondary are freshmen and sophomores, lacking experience. We're going to attack them every single time. Right. Our offensive line just needs to hold up for at least 7 seconds to give Jordan Travis enough time to read the play.
7 seconds is a lot of time.
I'm not gonna lie. You make valid points, Ahmad. So you know what?
No, I'm being
Clemson by 21.
Yeah, whatever, bro. But anyway, they just love to hate us, man. But we gonna prove all the doubters wrong. They play Clemson
y'all started
this
off
Saturday.
Hot, but I feel like y'all come back down to earth. Y'all gonna lose against Clemson. I'm not gonna lie. I'm with Tristian here. Y'all are 4.5 point underdogs. I think Clemson does more than 4.5 on y'all.
Well, we shall see.
As a gambling man, I'm taking Clemson, and I'm taking the over.
Absolutely.
We shall see, man. So we're gonna move on outside of Tallahassee collegiate sports. We're gonna talk about Alabama defeating.
Defend it, Tristian. Defend it right now.
Go ahead, Tristian.
Defend it.
I mean, what do y'all have to say?
I want to bring this one.
We're going. Alabama is now 6-0.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately.
How we do
and they won
y'all
this.
Know how.
They won this previous game without Bryce Young.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Barely.
I'll start with the Alabama fan in the room. Tristan, what are your thoughts on the game? How did they play? What could have been done better?
Let me start by saying I'm an Alabama fan through thick and thin. So this ain't no bandwagon stuff. Also, let me also start by saying
a lot more thick than thin for y'all.
Absolutely.
It ain't really that hard. It ain't that hard to be a fan of Alabama.
But we were starting Jalen Milroe on Saturday. 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles, and an interception thrown.
Jesus.
As in all, I'm I'm very happy with what the defense put out. I do thoroughly believe we have the best pass rush in college football, for one. I mean, they scored all their points off turnovers. They only scored 3 points just off of marching down the field alone. We helped them out a lot. With Bryce Young, the game is not close. And if you do believe the game would have been different with Bryce Young, please, let's have a reality check. All right.
Well, I think the game would have been different with or without Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
But fellas, we're gonna get into some breaking news. We're coming up towards the end of the show. So just to give everyone who's listening in some breaking news around the NFL, Teddy Bridgewater suffered a concussion during Sunday's game. New protocols with the concussion protocols and everything prohibiting him from returning. His return status is not.
I believe he passed the test, but because he went to the tent, he's not allowed to return to the game.
Yeah, so I actually,
that's the new rule.
Yeah, so I agree with that. So hopefully he recovers speedily and he'll be back on the field for the Dolphins because they desperately need it. Tyreek Hill, my fantasy wide receiver, has unfortunately suffered a foot injury during Sunday's game as well.
Another player the Dolphins desperately need right now.
Yeah, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully he's not out for an extended amount of time because we need him. The Dolphins need him. I need him. Jesus, please. But moving on, Nick Bosa has suffered a groin injury again. Now, this is his second time suffering a groin injury. He suffered it in Sunday's game versus the Panthers. His return date should be this week. It's nothing too crazy. But I
was so mad at that because he looked good in that game.
He was playing great.
Yeah.
He was playing great. And lastly, for my baseball fans, Yankees pitcher Aroldis Chapman will not be a part of the postseason roster as he has been fined for missing workouts with the team. Malik, you're a Yankees fan. How do you feel?
Yeah, I definitely feel like this is gonna affect us. Just because like he's our best closer.
Right.
But I also think that with the help of like our other pitchers, Garrett Cole, Nasty Nestor, we'll definitely find ways to like not let this affect us too much. Like we'll definitely find ways to get over this.
Nasty Nestor's a crazy nickname.
Hey, if you're not a Yanks fan, you don't understand, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's
If
crazy.
that's what it takes to be a Yankees fan, I'm good.
Nasty.
Yeah, that's wild. All right, fellas. So we're gonna move on to our new segment. This is our last segment of the show. We're gonna talk about predictions. So I have picked 3 matchups for the NFL for this week, and I'm going to go around the table and I'm going to ask y'all predictions. Give a score prediction, short, concise, keep it cute. You feel me? All right, Bills Chiefs. Go ahead.
Bills Chiefs.
They're playing at Kansas City, by the way.
Yeah.
Bills Chiefs. 35-28 Bills.
Tristan.
I'm gonna say 42-17 Bills.
42-17.
42-17, bro.
Okay, I'm not even going to talk about that one. Just
right.
go.
42.
This man clearly smoked a good one before.
I'm going
Bills.
I'm going 34-30 Chiefs.
I see a really close game. I'm going 17-14 Bills.
That's too low.
If you think
Yeah,
the
they-
Bills
Josh
are 17
Allen
points,
and
okay,
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay,
Bro, they finna air that stadium.
That's a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit too low. But let me get my score prediction. I think it's right in the middle. All right, so I'm going 35-28 Bills. I think Josh Allen goes into Kansas City. He gets his revenge from last season missing. You know, when they had the chance to go to the Super Bowl. As we all know, they really should have won that game. But we all know the reason why they lost that game. And now they have that missing piece that they didn't have. No, because of their defense. If Von Miller was coming at Patrick Holmes during the last drive of that game, it's not happening.
I want y'all to.
And that's my firm belief. But fellas, moving on to the next game.
Bills are going to destroy them.
Packers Jets.
Packers.
Are you sure? Because Zach Wilson and the Jets are
last
3-2.
week, yeah.
They're 3-2 now. They've been playing great.
At Green Bay.
And they had a blowout week. They had a blowout win this week.
They just beat the Dolphins 40-17.
Who are struggling with injuries.
Hey, it's the Dolphins, man.
They were on their third string quarterback.
What's your prediction?
Score prediction, let's go somewhere 20-21 range. I'm still going Packers though.
Okay, go ahead, Tristan.
I'm going to say 28-10 Packers.
Yo, you believe it all blowout.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
I'm taking the Packers as well. I'm gonna go 24-10.
All right, go ahead,
A
Malik.
4-point difference.
Man, y'all so boring, man.
I know, bro. Like, what?
Let's spice it up in here, bro. I got the Jets winning. Hey, the Packers just lost to the Giants.
They lost 15 on that?
The Giants look good.
The Giants are better than the Jets. The Giants are better than the Jets.
Bro, first of all, the Jets have pieces, bro. They have pieces. Their running back, Breece Hall, he's a dog. But all right, I got the I got the Jets. I have another low-scoring game. I got the Jets 13-10.
All right, guys. So I got the Jets as well. I do not. I think Aaron Rodgers. This is his season where he loses to both teams in New York. Final score 21-14 Jets. So last but not least, our final matchup prediction: the Giants versus the Ravens. I'm gonna start this one out. I love how the Giants have been playing. The Ravens defense, I'm not sold on them. I'm going to go Giants 24, Ravens 21. Go ahead.
They're playing at New York, by the way, as well.
Yes.
At New York?
Yep. That's why I said
at
that.
New York.
Go ahead.
Ooh, this is gonna be a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go same range, 21-14. Actually, 28-21. I'd say probably Giants. The Ravens do look good. Lamar looks great. Yeah, I'm going Giants though. I'm
gonna go Ravens 34-20.
Well, bet I'll bet you 2 cases.
No, bet me on the Jets game.
No.
That's what I want.
Bet me on
I
this
want money
game.
in the Jets game.
Bet me on this game.
No. You wanted the Jets. Bet on that game.
You're scared. You're not confident.
I want you.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take the Ravens I'm gonna say by 10 points. I don't have a score right now, but 10 points.
Ravens, Giants.
I got the Ravens. Yeah, I got the Ravens. They coming off a very good win yesterday. Very good win, bro. In like walk-off fashion. I mean, come on.
Walk-off fashion isn't nice.
I mean,
that kick. I was disappointed.
I understand that, but you playing the reigning AFC champs. Like, come on, let's give him some slack, man.
That's funny.
Lamar came in clutch, brought the team down, did what he had to do.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker finished it off. That's like the best way to end the game as a team. A good team win.
I feel you. I definitely
A
understand.
blowout. Only thing better is a blowout.
Fellas, only time will tell. You know I'm going to be locked in this week, as I know you guys all are, for this upcoming week 6 of the NFL, guys. But that has concluded halftime with the Playmakers. It has been a pleasure being in the studio with you guys.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all boys, man.
It's been a great episode.
Very good one.
Guys, we record this episode of Halftime with the Playmakers within the School of Journalism and Graphic Communications here at Florida A&M University. We are with WANM 90.5. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Guys, shout outs, starting with you.
Yeah, man. Shout out to fam. Shout out everybody in the studio. Thank God for the opportunities. Shout out to listeners. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tristan.
Hey man, shout out to Halftime with the Playmakers.
Shout out to Playmakers too.
Yeah, shout out to Playmakers. Shout out to God, my family. Shout out to Terrence too. Shout out to DME. A lot of people don't know what that is, but shout out to DME anyway.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to everybody. Listen, man, I'm a reflection of everybody's love and support, man. I am nothing without y'all. Shouts out to all the pretty girl basketball players. You know why?
Oh my goodness, bro.
Ain't you married, bro?
Oh, right.
Hold on. Y'all got two.
She'll understand.
Hey, man. I'm going to keep it simple, man. Shout out to God, first and foremost, man. You woke me up this morning, so appreciate you. Shout out to my family. Shout out to all people listening right now. Shout out to all the supporters of the Playmakers. Really, we wouldn't be nothing without you guys. And, just happy to be back in the studio, my boy.
All right, guys. So, first I would just like to say shout out to God. Like I said, he woke me up this morning. We were able to come, get this good episode, get good content in. It was a pleasure being in the studio with you guys. Shout out to the rest of my Playmakers. Guys, just for you guys who are unaware, maybe you're a first-time listener, we will be posting podcasts every Wednesday moving forward. It is an absolute pleasure. We're going to be interactive on our Instagram page at 90.5 The Playmakers throughout the week. Give us a follow. We'll be posting various polls, interactive things to keep you guys engaged. We'll even be taking up some topics that you guys want to hear about. So if you guys are interested in that, please give this page a follow. And without further ado, it's been a pleasure. I'm Mr. 813 Ahmad Kibi, and this has been another episode of Halftime with the Playmakers. Thank you guys so much. See you guys next week.